13 NFL players to watch in preseason games. When the scores don't matter, it's all about evaluation. The NFL's preseason doesn't always offer meaningful conclusions, but it can be a helpful snapshot for certain players and teams. And though some notable names will be going through the motions, several others are worth following as games begin Thursday night. Here are 13 players to track throughout the preseason. Jimmy Garoppolo, QB, Patriots. Garoppolo's relevance to the NFL this year likely won't extend beyond September, but his 4-game stretch as Tom Brady's replacement still could shape the season. Bill Belichick and offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels should be able to ease the third-year pro in with rollouts and other plays that simplify the quarterback's reads. At some point, however, Garoppolo will have to prove he can take advantage of Rob Gronkowski and the rest of New England's arsenal of targets. Dante Fowler, Delaware, Jaguars. A vaunted and versatile presence on the edge, Fowler never had a chance to make an impression as a rookie after he tore the anterior cruciate ligament in his left knee. More than a year removed from the injury, he is not being held back in training camp and has drawn rave reviews for his fluid play. The Jaguars' defense should be one of the more entertaining units to follow this season, with 2 premier rookies in Jalen Ramsey and Myles Jack also on the mend. Kevin White, WR, Bears. White's pro-career path closely mirrors that of Fowler. The West Virginia wide receiver was the number 7 overall pick last year but missed the entire season with a stress fracture in his shin. The 6'3", 215-pound target is a threat on jump balls and in the red zone, though he doesn't have the same handle on the intricacies of the position that draft classmate Amari Cooper displayed with the Oakland Raiders last year. White should at least bring a much-needed explosive element to a Bears offense that has little firepower outside of Alshon Jeffrey. Mark Sanchez, QB, Broncos. A competition many assumed Sanchez had won by default now will be decided in the preseason, as Gary Kubiak wants to see how his newly acquired quarterback fares next to second-year pro Trevor Siemian. Sanchez was named the starter for the preseason opener Thursday against the Chicago Bears, with Siemian likely coming in for the second quarter and rookie Paxton Lynch handling the second half. Sanchez can make a strong case for himself with a few strong performances, but he'll have to avoid the reckless turnovers that plagued him in New York and Philadelphia. And his margin for error in holding off Siemian might not be as large as it seems. Jared Goff, QB, Rams. The number 1 pick in this year's draft won't be handed the starting job, as he currently sits behind Case Keenum on Los Angeles' depth chart. But coach Jeff Fisher and general manager Les Snead likely would be delighted if Goff proves himself to be the best day 1 option. With RB Todd Gurley and a strong defense behind him, Goff should have a favorable workload. The Cal product has impressive pocket awareness, but he'll have to make quick decisions and take advantage of the play-action opportunities afforded to him. DeMarco Murray, RB, Titans. Murray is 28 with more than 1,100 carries in the NFL, so the Titans have little reason to overexpose him with too much preseason work. Still, it's natural to wonder whether Tennessee's big acquisition will look more like the former NFL rushing champion he was in 2014 or the disappointing, ineffective runner he was with the Eagles last season. Whatever the case, Mike Mularkey's exotic smashmouth offense bears watching with QB Marcus Mariota and rookie bulldozer Derrick Henry chipping in. Brock Osweiler, QB, Texans. For a quarterback who landed a $72 million contract in the offseason, Osweiler still has plenty of unknowns. His stint with the Broncos provided enough glimpses to see why Houston was drawn to the 6'7", 243-pound gunslinger. But his 7 games as a starter last year were marked by inconsistency. In Texans coach Bill O'Brien's run-heavy attack, finishing drives and avoiding turnovers will be important benchmarks for Osweiler, who already has shown he can connect on highlight reel deep throws. Robert Griffin III, QB, Browns. In Griffin's last game action, he took repeated shots to the body from the Detroit Lions in a preseason game and ultimately suffered a concussion. That precipitated the end of a once promising partnership for the Washington Redskins and the former Rookie of the Year, as Kirk Cousins was later handed the starting job and became the franchise's focus. RG3 and Cleveland appear to be pairing of necessity with both at low points, but they share hope that Hugh Jackson will provide much-needed direction. For Griffin, Starting on the proper path of development likely entails emphasizing his natural athleticism while slowly refining his mechanics as a pocket passer. Colin Kaepernick, QB, 49ers. Kaepernick was once depicted as an ideal fit for Chip Kelly's offense. Then it became unclear whether the two would work together at all, as Kaepernick sought a trade in the spring. Now the two appear to be together for 2016, though whether the dual-threat quarterback reclaims his starting role remains unclear. Kaepernick was sidelined by shoulder surgery until late July, and he has his work cut out for him against Blaine Gabbert. Kelly says the first-team reps will be split evenly, but neither option meets Kelly's demand for repetitive accuracy. Even if not named the starter, Kaepernick remains an interesting presence for the Niners to keep or move elsewhere. Moritz Bohringer, WR, Vikings. As the first player drafted straight from Europe, Bohringer might not be the NFL's international man of mystery much longer. The German Football League standout is a developmental prospect who could be dazed by the speed of his new competition. At 6'4" and 227 pounds with impressive straight-line speed, however, he has the athletic tools to carve out a role for himself, even if it is primarily on special teams to begin. Carson Wentz, QB, Eagles. The Eagles might not be expecting to see Wentz outside of the preseason in 2016, but that outlook likely doesn't hold true for the rest of Philadelphia. First-year coach Doug Peterson firmly established the number 2 overall pick as on track for a redshirt year, with Sam Bradford returning as the starting quarterback and Chase Daniel entering as the backup. Wentz, the North Dakota State standout billed as the total athletic package, should receive extensive work against third-stringers, which could ease his transition as he speeds up his decision-making. Then it's up to Peterson to decide how long he wants to hold on to his plan. Melvin Gordon, RB, Chargers. While Gurley flourished with the Rams and was named Offensive Rookie of the Year, Gordon struggled in his first NFL season, averaging just 3.5 yards per carry and fumbling 6 times while recording the most touches, 217, of any player with a touchdown. Despite undergoing microfracture knee surgery in January, he's optimistic his fortunes will turn around this year. San Diego needs the explosive runner it saw at Wisconsin, as it ranked last in rushing yards per attempt last season. Derek Watt, brother of Houston Texans star J.J. Watt, could be a reinforcement for the run game, as the 6th-round pick opened holes for Gordon in college as his lead blocker. Dak Prescott, QB, Cowboys. Prescott might no longer have the luxury of being several degrees removed from action, as Kellen Moore's ankle injury likely forces him to be Tony Romo's backup. That designation might be temporary, however, as a poor preseason showing could build pressure for Dallas to sign an established veteran. The rookie from Mississippi State is a project as a pocket passer, but he brings a dynamic element to the Cowboys' offense. Regardless of his immediate role, he is Dallas' most important investment at the position in quite some time.